Welcome to another podcast presentation from the Zenith Corporation.
May I have your attention, please? Your podcast will begin in just a few moments. Please keep your hands inside the podcast at all times and enjoy your ride.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Not Delete, the show where we review both new and older movies. This is Gino.
This is Robert.
America.
And Gio.
And we are coming to you live from my editing bay. If you're new to the show, we use the rating system of Not Delete.
And if you liked the movie, you loved it, this is the T1000 of movies. Out if you did not like it, it wasn't very good. And it's more like the T800, the Arnold Schwarzenegger model. And Delete if it was the worst movie ever made, and it's the... what's his name? Kyle Reese of movies, but not the Michael Biehn one, the Jai Courtney one from Genesis.
Oh, shit.
I didn't understand any of
Yeah, Terminator fans will
So,
laugh.
so this week we watched, well, of course, Terminator Dark Fate, Jojo Rabbit, and America's pick, which is Viva.
Viva.
Viva! Sorry.
It's a completely different movie.
It is. So maybe watched the wrong one. I'm kidding. Will we be back for the next Terminator movie? We will see. We'll take a snippet of Terminator Dark Fate.
My name is Sarah Connor. August 29, 1997. It was supposed to be Judgment Day. But I changed the future. Saved 3 billion lives. Enough of a resume for you?
No. You may have changed the future, but you didn't change our fate.
Terminator Dark Fate. Sarah Connor and a hybrid cyborg human must protect a young girl from a newly modified liquid Terminator from the future.
Such a fresh idea.
Mm-hmm. Super fresh.
Yep.
So fresh is so clean. Who wants to go first on this?
I'll go first.
Go about it.
Yeah. This is a Delete.
Oh!
This was a fucking terrible movie. America, you really saved yourself on this one.
Yay.
I love the Terminator. Terminator 1, Terminator 2. Terminator 2 is one of my favorite movies of all time. The sequels have all been terrible, and they tried and tried again and again to do the same thing over and over, and it doesn't work. We know now, and even James Cameron's back, and it doesn't work. The characters are uninteresting. The script is because they're doing the same shit. There's just nonsense that they're yelling for the whole movie. They just need to stop making these movies. We need to send. What I wish what will happen is that we send Terminators into the future to kill any screenwriter that attempts to make the new Terminator, because they need to stop.
All right,
Please.
What do you think?
I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum. I'm actually in on this.
He's in!
Oh my god.
I was entertained by it. I didn't mind anything. I thought it was good. Like, I didn't hate it. Yeah, I didn't hate it. I get it as much as you did. In all fairness, like, I think I dropped off of at T3. I think it was the last one I saw. So
you haven't seen the trash that's come out after that?
no, so I think I saved myself from that
Right.
trash.
But did you think T3 was trash?
I think I only saw it the once and in theaters. So yeah, I will probably say it wasn't as
Yeah.
good.
Right.
But
So your soul hasn't been beaten down
yeah, so
a good
like,
amount
I
of
think
times, yeah.
So I think that's where I'm coming from. Mine,
Yeah.
like I've stayed away from, I guess, some of the other crap.
How many Terminators are there?
Would be the
Almost-
sixth one.
Yeah, it was almost
Yeah.
6. Like,
But now there's
Not counting a TV show.
But now,
oh, yeah.
There's a TV
spoiler
show.
alert, possibly, I don't know. It's down to 3.
Well, I would ask you, America, but you haven't seen it, so you saved yourself, like
No,
Robert
I'm
said.
glad I didn't watch this.
And well, this is going to be uneven because I'm an out, actually. I
Oh.
don't
Okay,
feel...
we have all 3 levels.
I
then.
don't feel like it deserved an in and nor a delete.
It's a middle of the road movie for you then.
Yeah, it is because, this... I love T2, of course. Everyone does. And when I heard James Cameron was coming back as a producer, I was kind of like, yay! But then when I saw it, I was like, why? I did feel James Cameron had his
Whoa.
input on it in a way because it
800 Avatar movies. So
Oh, I know, but like it would be great if it was full attention because it would be more badass than it would since Tim Miller directed it. But like I said, you could feel that his presence was there of the way the pace of the movie. but I feel like they took pieces from other shitty Terminator movies and just and redid them again in this movie, which I noticed a lot, and I was like, that's stupid. But yeah, I'm an out. I don't know what else.
Yeah, it's like they took it's like they took all the bad ideas from the shitty sequels and made a shittier sequel on it. Like you'll see, like Gino said, it's pieces, and they took the bad pieces too, not even the good pieces.
Wait, so what
from
happened?
it.
Like, explain, like, spoil it for me. Obviously,
So
this is a bad movie. So
basically, Terminator is they send a machine from the future to the past to kill John Connor, which is the leader of the Resistance, the leader that's going to save the human race, basically. And the first one, they go back to try and kill his mom before he was born. And the second one, they try to kill him when he's a little kid. And every movie after that has been pretty much the same thing. They send something from the future to go kill somebody important.
Trying to kill him.
Somebody
so
important.
This one...
You see, they send a Terminator to kill a little Mexican girl now. You don't know why, but you kind of figure it out. Everything is predictable. Purposes. Yeah. Well, so basically, it's the same thing now, but with a Mexican girl instead of John Connor. Yeah. But basically, this movie undoes the victory essentially of the last two, like within the first 30 seconds. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And that sucks.
But it also sets up the idea of, and it makes sense of anybody, like it's almost inevitable, like this whole apocalypse Judgment Day thing is inevitable because, and it makes sense, like tech companies are always working towards the same goal.
It's fine. Yeah, it's fine that there's a new person. But the problem is that we don't care about her because she gets introduced for like 5 seconds. And she says, oh, I'm a girl. I work here. And then everything starts. Yeah. Right? And if you go back and look at the first two, and it's like, you know, because they're all essentially chase movies, right? Yeah. And the first two are set up where it's like a chess game, right? They set up their pieces, they set up their characters, and you know the stakes, and you know what's happening, right? And that's what makes it so exciting, right? It takes its time, and you talked about pacing. Yeah. And it had none of that, because it basically skips like the first two steps and just goes straight into the chase, which is disappointing because I'm being hard on this movie, yes, but there are positives. I'm being hard on it because I wanted them to stop. There are positives. The director, Tim Miller, who directed Deadpool, he knows how to do action. And I think he was a second unit director before this, so he obviously that's what he knows how to do. Stuff. And the set pieces, like the first one, they were actually really good. Like, you know, they weren't incoherent, they were edited well, and like the action was good. That's why it's disappointing that the story doesn't mean anything. There is no story to tell because they're telling the same thing over and over again.
It takes place in Mexico.
And here's another thing. The girl is Mexican, right? Yeah. And they start off speaking Spanish, and then like 5 minutes after everything starts, they just switch to English. Yeah, but why even bother doing it in Mexico and making it a Mexican if you're just gonna speak English?
That's a lot of movies.
Yeah, it's true. That's fine.
That's why the
accent
accent
exists.
exists.
I thought we were past that. Then do it all in English. Then do it all and just have them have a stupid accent. Don't try to fucking half-ass it. And then at the end, the only Spanish thing she says is like "Vete a la verga," you know? Don't just speak English and then just throw in some stupid.
That's
Spanish
when the barrio
words.
came out.
Yeah, that's so insulting. Yeah. You know.
But I agree. It's using the language as like a prop or something. Like, we really did just have to change it up.
It just defies who she is. She's from the raza.
Yeah. And another positive, is Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor. Yeah. She's great. She's great again. That's awesome to see. It's just a shame that there's no fucking story. You don't care about what's going on.
But was it no? But the breakdown. No, the breakdown of the script isn't it on Cameron? Because he wrote the screenplay.
I don't think he has screenwriting credit.
He does. I thought he did.
One of like the 5, whatever it is.
I think he did like the last touch.
Yeah,
I don't think he really wrote anything.
It's his story.
But true. I'm not saying Cameron is
not to blame.
Fucking good. No. Blame him because he essentially I think he made it just to keep the rights because the rights reverted back to him after Genesis bombed. And that's why he had to rush to make this movie so he could retain the rights and keep making more of these fucking dumbass movies.
Avatar?
Another thing that bothered me is the fucking Terminator is like super advanced, right? This is decent Terminator. The actor who played it is fine.
He was
but he's trying to find them right in Mexico, and he goes to like this data center to plug into the network, right? So you could access all the cameras and find them. Like, motherfucker, like, you don't have Wi-Fi? Like,
it's Mexico. There's no Wi-Fi. There's no fucking Starbucks either.
But just go to a Starbucks and sit down.
I don't think they have a Starbucks.
Wi-Fi. That's racist. That's
very
racist. I'm like, yeah. Like, why do you have to plug into the hard? What is this, 1995?
I understand it, but also, do you really want super, like, secure things to be on an open network on Wi-Fi?
Yeah, but
They
this is a
aren't.
fucking machine
That's how
from the
life
future. Who
Yeah,
could
but the computer is
nanotechnology.
in the now, so that computer doesn't have Wi-Fi. So he would have to connect
Those cameras are on the cloud.
or
It's not
are
wrong.
they?
It's not
No,
wrong. The
Gino's
drones.
right. It's fucking racist because they assume that Mexico's technology is not advanced enough to put their cameras on the cloud because they don't want to get hacked.
You don't want the Chapo to hack
This
into your
fucking
computer.
movie.
Bro. You never know.
It's just like, God, please stop. Make it stop. Please, for the love of God. It was decent, like I said, decent action. And even Arnold. Arnold pops up, and he's actually pretty good in it. They use him very well.
Can I say something about
Yeah.
Arnold?
What?
You can tell he aged.
Oh yeah,
This movie is not for him.
Well, he's like,
anymore.
what, 70-something?
he's obsolete as well.
And even in the trailer, I noticed like the close up. He does the close ups, and then this is some other buff guy doing all fighting. And you're like, stop, just stop, Arnold.
They could have at least...
My name is Kyle.
They could have digitally de-aged him like they did in the beginning.
He
Like,
owns a
why?
drapes store.
Yeah, why?
Fucking Carl's draperies. You know, he went to put the drapes in the data. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I love that.
This happens. This is America. All this
Yeah.
happens in the movie.
It really
I believe
does.
you guys. That's
Yeah.
why I'm not gonna watch it.
But real quick,
You should watch it for the drapes.
Arnold was great, of course, but there's one scene I want to bring out. You talked about Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor. There's the one scene that put me like you. It's been a while I seen you act. The part where that got to me is after they meet Carl, she goes off, wanders alone, and she went from like the one like a frantic like angry scene to like a dramatic like sadness, or she had a very dramatic.
Which scene was this?
The scene when they go meet Carl.
Carl is...
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You know, the part where she, like, you know, Danny,
Yeah. I know what
Danny
you're
goes
talking
with
about.
her.
Yeah.
That scene shows that she can act. To me, I actually really enjoyed
I
that.
100% agree.
And people didn't get that reference when we were talking about off mic, you know, with other people. And they were like, I don't get what you mean. Like, you don't notice her acting?
Yeah.
She acted very good in this movie.
That's why I said it's disappointing that she's great. Obviously, Sarah Connor is iconic, and she steps into the role like if it was yesterday, right? And that scene had a lot of weight to it. It's just a shame that we don't care about what's going on.
Is this sad? That's the only reason why I'm an out instead of a delete?
I mean, that's
totally
totally fair that the performances would, you know, like I said, there are positives in this movie. I'm being extra harsh on it just because I don't want to make it anymore.
It's not a perfect movie. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
It's not a perfect movie, but like I'm only in because, like I said, like I was entertained by it. I didn't hate. I wasn't bored at it like at any point.
To that point, I will say, if there had been no sequels, this movie would be fine. It'd be a little bit subpar, but it'd be fine, right? But because we've been shit on so many times, and this has more in common with the shitty sequels than the great first two movies, that's what makes it so disappointing.
I know you guys are gonna hate, but I thought Linda Hamilton's performance was a little too like.
Shots fired.
You're like the opposite of what's going on here.
It's opposite day? Is it Freaky Friday? But
I don't know. Like it just seemed like she was just at times at certain moments were just like just kind of going through it. It's just not very.
No,
she used to be her.
Yeah, but it was just so like.
It was a good performance in a bad movie.
Thank you.
You're confusing. You're confusing the shittiness of the movie and her performance, and it's the other way around.
At times, I guess it might be that you just cared, but at times it just seemed like, so like it just seemed she was rusty because she hadn't acted in a long ass.
And exactly, and this movie proves that she can still act.
Yeah, that's true. Like, imagine how hard it is to. She essentially disappeared, right?
Yeah.
Nobody gave her roles or anything except Dante's Peak, which is amazing.
Okay.
And yeah, she pops up like what, 30 years later?
Yeah.
And does convincingly, and I wish it had been a better movie for her, but
Well, maybe she'll get more roles after
yeah,
this.
maybe.
Yeah,
In the
they
next
set it up
Terminator.
for another Terminator movie, so she'll get another role there.
Jesus.
Okay, so we have one in, one out, and 1 delete. Yay!
Delete,
Self-titled.
yeah.
Self-titled. Yay! Let's take a small break. We'll be right back.
Here's Marshal Jojo. You're our top man. Prepare to leave the house.
Today, you boys will be involved in such activities as war games, ambush techniques, and blowing stuff up.
I don't think I can do this.
Was? Of course you can.
When I was your age, I had an imaginary friend. Got me in so much trouble.
A World War II satire that follows a German boy named Jojo, who discovers his single mother is hiding a young Jewish girl in their attic, aided only by his idiotic imaginary friend Adolf Hitler. Ooh.
That is good.
That's not spooky. It's actually pretty good. America, you go first. I want you to go first on this one.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I thought it was like really fun. I feel like I kind of did get bored at times, but I mean, it was a good enough movie. I liked it. I thought it was fun.
Nice. Okay, Gio.
I'm in as well.
All right.
It was funny. It was sad. It was an emotional roller coaster, I would say. So, and I enjoyed it. I do agree. I think at one time you kind of do feel it drags a little long,
yeah.
Even though it's like barely 2 hours. But yeah, I'm in.
Okay. Robert.
I am in.
Right.
Yeah, I like this movie.
Yeah, I was looking at your face. You're like, oh god, these guys are idiots.
I don't want to repeat what everybody just said, but to borrow from Roger Ebert, it does go on autopilot for like the middle part of the movie, but it's really good. It's really good satire. It's really heartwarming.
Takes you
and
everywhere.
It's really, honestly, I walked out super depressed on it. We could get into the details later, but overall, super in. The director, what is it, Taika Waititi? He's really good at comedy and blending
satire.
all those elements. Yeah, so super in.
Delete. No, I'm kidding. I'm in. Sorry. That was a
Sweet.
joke. It's sweet.
Whoop, whoop.
I love it. It was I actually really enjoyed it. Taika Waititi did a great job as director, both director and Adolf Hitler.
Oh, that was him?
That was him.
Yeah. That's a sentence you probably thought you'd never say.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking, but he did an amazing job.
That was a great Hitler.
Yeah, great Hitler, all right. Anyway, I also the little boy. I think that was his first movie. And
Was it?
Yeah,
I think he really did. I think the two little kids too. Yorkie.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I love the Yorkie.
Yeah, he's
Yorkie.
a scene stealer basically. And
I think everyone cheered when he would pop up on screen.
yeah. He's like a chubby Harry Potter.
Yes. You just want to squish his cheeks, go adorable little man.
I wish he would have been Harry Potter.
But yeah, I agree. There is some moments it just like autopilot mode, just a cruise. But yeah, but it hit the emotional spots very well though. It did a great job at executing those.
Yeah.
And even like, man, towards the end, I just was like, I don't know how you said you were depressed after the movie.
Yeah.
I was in more of like thoughtful thinking, like, fuck, like how can a guy like him who directed Thor Ragnarok, fucking he even came out in fucking Green Lantern. He was a character, and make this such an interesting, good movie. Like,
yeah, because it wasn't completely a satire. I kind of forgot that it was sad until
Yeah.
you said it was sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it really, and it doesn't handle it like, it doesn't just kind of say like, oh yeah, just remember it's sad, guys. Like, don't just laugh the whole time. Like, it's really sentimental, and like it actually gets you to go there, and you feel for both characters. You're kind of like struggling, you know.
But it's like very bubbly and like, and then it just turns into Schindler's List.
wow.
Yeah.
No, the reason why I walked out is depressed and why I think it's a very good satire is it's about hate, right?
Yeah.
And the ridiculousness of it all. I feel that it's a little too real for today,
Yeah.
with kind of racism being okay now. I'm not saying racism is coming back; it's always been there, but the fact that it's getting more and more okay now,
more people are free to express.
Yeah, that's what makes it depressing. That's why I walked out going fuck,
Yeah.
But the fact that he captured that obviously very well means his movie worked basically.
Yeah.
What he's trying to say.
And I also like that, how usually World War II movies, you just assume everything is dark Like even the filtering is dark.
Yeah, they
Yes.
desaturate the colors.
Yeah, and this one's just very colorful, more brightness.
Yeah, that
even
is
though in the
something I
dark.
wanted to point out too, because it like even when they're like at the little camp and everything, and even inside their house, like when he's with the Jewish girl, like everything is so colorful. It's like you're in like a what is the guy's name?
Willy Wonka.
Sure, maybe if you want. No, but yeah, it's like so bright and colorful. Like you're just kind of in there, like the little kids having an adventure. Like you really do see it like that.
Was it because I tend to go to IMDb after I watch the movies to see and stuff. But yeah, because the director apparently he was looking while researching and stuff. He saw that it wasn't all like gloom and doom.
Yeah,
that's something we've been told through movies.
We're conditioned to think that World War II was desaturated for some reason.
Oh, like everything was still in color.
Yeah.
But so like he was looking, like a lot of people were wearing fashionable clothes, bright clothes, so that's why all that all the clothes is also bright and stuff, because like this was what people were wearing at the time. They weren't wearing gray.
Oh, and the fact, sorry, this is taking it off the topic of wardrobe and color and cinematography and stuff. How it opens up with the Beatles.
That was great.
Oh my God, that was
all the songs in German.
Hilarious.
Putting that song with those images.
It gives you the context too, like what's going on in like the world, you know. And
they're
what's
going crazy for Adolf.
It was such a brilliant moment. You know, it's one of the best opening sequences I've seen probably this year. But the colors do kind of go away when things start to turn a little bit. Everything gets more bleak.
Yeah.
You know, more Russian.
Little cues.
Yeah.
The wardrobe actually becomes, at least a piece of wardrobe becomes like something that like like very important in the storytelling.
Mm-hmm. And it's good directing too, the way he points you to those things, right? So you know you're prepared for it. So even when the things happen, it doesn't necessarily like spell it out to you, right? Yeah. It's a visual cue.
Yeah,
and
like you were already and that breadcrumbs,
and that makes it in a lot of ways more emotional.
Yeah, and then there's a difference between the main little boy Jojo and his friend. What was the friend's
Yorkie?
name?
Yorkie.
Yeah, because Yorkie's just kind of like this little clueless kid, just going along,
following
whatever,
orders.
Right?
Yeah,
but he's not a Nazi, and Jojo proclaims himself a Nazi. He's like, I'm a Nazi, and then the mom obviously he thinks the mom doesn't like him because he's a Nazi.
Yeah,
you know, and then
Jojo adopts the ideology. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He wants to be.
Yeah, the other kid, the chubby one, is just following orders. Right. He doesn't have any like prejudice. He doesn't hate anything, but he will kill somebody if you tell him. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He never bought into it. Like Jojo was trying to buy into it.
It's so funny when they meet up, I think the first time, and Yorkie's in the costume.
Oh, his uniform.
And he's like, "Oh, you're a soldier now?" He's like, "Yeah, you're only 11. Yeah, I know.
He's like, "I think this is made out of paper, but it's all right."
I love it.
I love him so much.
When you're like Yorkie's great. Like whenever he's on screen, everyone gets off field like yee because like, he's so adorable.
Again, Harry Potter reboot, man. 2020
with Yorkie.
Yeah, Yorkie Potter.
Potter.
Don't even say that because they'll do it. Harry Potter is like,
and I'll be absolutely fine with it.
No.
Wait, you like Daniel Radcliffe?
Yes.
Sorry.
Don't come for Harry Potter.
You wouldn't see this kid as more charming than
I mean, sure, it'd be funny, but like, I'm not trying to encourage more Harry Potter movies.
Which would you prefer, the Hitler or that rock guy from Thor?
Korg?
Yeah.
Korg?
Ooh,
yeah.
Korg is cool.
I prefer Korg.
Yeah,
Korg.
You can
That's the correct answer. Nobody would say Hitler.
You can game with Korg.
I'll join his resistance.
I'll be his Doug.
Oh, this is good, Doug.
He was like, "This is a hard decision." See, my
Hitler
views kind of align over here.
I'm thinking Taika Waititi. All right, not Adolf asshole. You know, asshole Hitler. You know, fuck that guy. Piece of shit.
Many people think Adolf had one ball. No, he has 4.
All right, that'll be 5 ins. 4 ins. Sorry, 4 ins.
Sweep.
Go out and watch it, people.
Go home. Go watch it. Watch it now. Do it right now. Go
after you listen to the podcast.
No, go right now. Then pause it and come back.
All right, so you can hear a review.
We'll be right back. We're gonna go back to. We're gonna do an older movie now.
Please stand by as your next film is being prepared. And remember, no flash photography is allowed during listening.
¿Tú qué haces aquí? Quiero una audición.
Jesús, ¿por qué quieres hacer esto, mío?
Es intenso. Lindo. Quiero algo para mi mamá.
Viva. A young hairdresser clashes with his estranged father when his dream of performing in drag comes true.
Oh, okay.
Why'd you pick this movie?
I saw it in theaters when it came out, which I thought was like last year. Apparently not. And I liked it. But watching it the second time around, I wasn't as impressed. So, but I mean, I'm still in though. You know, like it's a story. I like drag shows. I like gay stories, so it was fun.
You know what I was impressed by?
What?
The fact that it was an Irish director.
Yeah,
What the
I
fuck
didn't
is
know
that
that.
about? Yeah, what a jip.
I don't know.
It's a
Yeah.
movie based in
what the
Cuba
hell
with
it is.
the Irish production.
Yeah.
It's like a Terminator.
Yeah. He's going.
But anyway, what did you
You,
think,
Robert,
Robert?
since you were
I'm actually on your first viewings mindset. I really like this movie.
Okay.
I was expecting to kind of just like it, but I really thought it was good. The cinematography is fucking fantastic and it looks great. And the performances are all good. The story's good. I like the the father-son relationship. The best part about this movie is the music, though. I really love the original score. I was so impressed by it,
Yeah.
I think every aspect of this movie was good. Maybe if I ever watch it again, maybe I'll go to your mindset. But for now, super in.
Yeah, the music really got me the first time that I watched it. It was like, oh god, it
Write
felt
that,
so good.
super in, not just in.
super in. I think I'm on America's second viewing.
Oh.
Tell the two Americas.
Even though they're both in. But like, yeah.
Wait,
it was,
so you're?
No, I'm in.
Okay,
I'm in.
okay.
Like, I didn't hate it. It was a good movie. The use of music was pretty good, especially towards the end when, the song between him, the kid, and the son. I mean, the kid and the dad. I think that was used very well there. But yeah, man, I didn't completely hate it.
Okay, well,
That sounds kind of negative.
no, you gotta sound bummed about it. Yeah, man.
I was comfy on my bed and I started almost falling asleep.
Oh, well, I watch it in my own viewing, no one's other viewing. I'm in because it's, I guess, great again. Like you guys said, music, the performance, the shots, beautifully shot, and it makes you wonder. I want to be in Cuba. I want to be there. When we
want
were
to be
there,
a cross-dresser.
huh? Why not?
Yeah,
I'm not hating on
fun,
it.
Yeah,
but either way, it's a really good film. It's the performances are great overall. But yeah, that being said, the whole thing with the father and son thing was already expected.
I'll give you that.
That's why I do think that
it's a little bit Hollywood ending.
The first time I watched it,
that.
I was like, oh, okay, this is like a good movie. It's like something different, or whatever. But yeah, it's like it's formulaic. Like you know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's like this unique subject with like a standard script, a script that works.
Yeah.
But a standard script on it because you kind of know what's gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
Their relationship, they don't like each other, they're gonna like each other, blah blah.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, I agree with you.
But you know what though? But it's crazy, like you said, that it's directed and written by an Irish guy.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Who was inspired? I
Stay
think,
in your
from...
lane, bro, motherfucker.
No, I'm sorry. It's just because you wouldn't expect a really good film like this to be directed by someone that's not even from that country.
Yeah, I still don't know why that
I
happened.
think
How
he
that
went
happened.
to Cuba. Is like, hey, I like Cuba, and then he decided to write a story based in Cuba.
Do you think he got funding from Cuba? Or
No, I think it was all Irish.
They don't even fund their seeds.
Well, for sure, Benicio.
I know, but you know, these are.
Benicio
I saw
del Toro
that
was
credit.
a producer.
Yeah,
He was an
yeah.
executive producer on
Oh
it.
no way.
So why would he? This is so weird. Like,
Yeah.
I wonder if it's a
behind the
buddy of
scenes,
his. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe the script was so strong that like, you got me, bro.
But was it?
Did anybody see what other movies the director has?
No,
I
I
have no idea.
Going back to like the kind of criticisms of the movie, I think one of the weakest things, not one of the weakest things, but the disappointing things were like the emotional moments, the emotional payoffs, like weren't like hit on like very well.
Yeah.
Like it happened, but you didn't really feel anything,
Yeah.
right? Like they didn't really, like you get the message, but it didn't. They didn't really drive it in very well. I think.
Yeah, I
You know,
agree.
missed opportunities there.
I agree. Like, I think it's also kind of to do with the acting because I don't think the
Maybe.
actors were very strong. Like, they're
Yeah.
good enough, but especially the main guy, Jesus. like I felt like especially in his performances, like in his drag performances, I thought they were bad.
Yeah.
And even the last one was his best one, but even then it wasn't great.
And that's
Like-
another thing I was gonna ask too, because I don't know if I missed this, but he goes on an audition, right?
Mhm.
And they basically tell him like, you're horrible.
Yeah.
Like in that part you get like in his performance.
Yeah.
But yet he still does it. Like, what, did they give him a chance? Or
I think they felt bad for him
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
They know
what they call
him.
their mama
Yeah.
or whatever. He does the wigs for everyone. He does hair
Yeah.
for like the
So they're
neighborhood.
just, like,
Everyone's poor.
They threw him a bone,
And, yeah.
basically.
Yeah, because I think Mama tells him, I'm not gonna, I can't give everybody, a job or an opportunity. Not
So,
a
like, I'm really
charity.
doing you a
But-
favor
so
here.
yeah, he's like, okay, I'm gonna just do you this
Yeah,
solid.
and
whatever, 'cause he knows him.
to America's point, that's one thing that didn't, they didn't really write it into the story that he became this really good performer, right?
Yeah.
But you would expect the natural progression because he they don't show a lot of the performance, right?
No.
So you would expect him to get better and better, but
Yeah.
they really don't,
Even
right?
if they had
Yeah.
even if he was a terrible drag performer, which might be a thing, like maybe
Yeah.
that guy just isn't good at that.
Yeah.
But if they had at least given him like a more dramatic wardrobe change, that I think would have
But
helped to drive it.
I think you might be right in that it's because of the performance wasn't that strong. Right?
Yeah,
Maybe
but-
that's the wrong way to say it. His performance is fine, but he couldn't have the range
Yeah.
to
do
go
that,
to that
yeah.
next level.
That's why
right?
I'm saying if to show some progression because we didn't really see
Yeah.
it. Change his outfits, man. Like make them more fabulous every time.
That's
like
true,
that
yeah.
would kind of help us out.
Maybe they're on a budget. You never know.
Yeah.
Well,
Possibly.
But I'm like
Cuban budget.
Because I'm like, I think for us, I guess, well, for you guys, like, there's no progression, but inside the story, there was.
Well,
Because,
that's what I
like,
mean.
But
Yeah,
it was
because, like,
just-
every
it was
time
just
they're-
it was just told.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
like-
have progressed.
but that's what I.
Yeah.
If it was, then I think it suffers in the performance,
Yeah.
right?
You don't
And
see
I
it
do
visually,
think-
but the
I mean,
characters somehow see it.
I do think overall it was a good performance by the kid, but story-wise, they didn't progress it a lot, and that's what I mean about the emotional moments really not hitting that hard, right?
Yeah.
Maybe because they couldn't as that because they were like amateurs or whatever. I don't know.
One thing I found kind of weird, and I guess it was either out of respect to his dad, but there's this battle between him and his dad about him trying to perform. That he doesn't want him to perform, and to a certain point, he goes behind his back to do it. He tells his dad once again, "I want to go perform," and Dad's like, "No." Why doesn't instead of going to do it again, he ends up prostituting himself? I didn't.
Because the dad is just like, no, you're not going to do that. I'm Mr. Macho and I'm a boxer and I'm violent and you're gay, blah, blah, blah. So he's like beating him down for being gay, for being a drag queen, for being all these things that he doesn't want him to be. But the dad's not making any money. So the son has to like care for him. So he's like, I guess.
No, I understand that. But like we already saw him go behind his back to perform, to make money because he gets tips from singing. But this time around, he decided, I don't know if it was just the faster, easier money to go and sell himself than to go perform.
I think he loses his desire to do it, right? Because the mama girl like tells him like, come with me. Like he basically at first he doesn't want to let him perform right? Because of his father. But then she says, no, like come, like
he
forget
sees that
all
he's
that,
suffering.
right?
Yeah.
But he, because of his dad or whatever and all the shit they're going through, he lost all his desire to do it, right? And that's why he goes and does the other thing.
Yeah, because like at first like I thought it was kind of weird. It's like, okay,
yeah, if you really wanted to,
why wouldn't you just go over there instead of going
Yeah.
like worst case scenario?
Yeah.
I guess
That-
at this point
I'm
for
pretty
him.
sure Robert's right, and it's probably just that it wasn't written correctly or wasn't directed like correctly because that point could have been gone across a lot clearer.
Yeah.
If it had been done differently.
I think it's meant to show like the character is kind of rock bottom, right?
Yeah.
The really dark moments, right? His struggle with his life. Basically, you see how bad it gets, right? In that country with boxing's so big down there, right? And you have to be macho, right?
Yeah.
To be like how he is.
The exit is the Pan American Games.
Yeah.
You try to get some fame or to try to make it out of
like
Cuba.
that type of lifestyle is not accepted, or at least not very openly. So you need something like that to really show like the darkness of it,
Yeah.
The performances work within the I think the director knew that they couldn't reach maybe a further range, so he kind of kept it in check, right?
Yeah.
And that's why it feels like the emotional payoffs weren't that great,
Yeah,
right? Because they had to work with what they had, and it worked. I think it worked overall, but yeah, I think it's missing a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with that because I feel like because their chemistry was good, but I didn't feel like the father-son relationship was as strained as it could have been. Like I think they could have fought each other more. Like it just seemed like, oh, okay, he shows up, all right, I guess like he'll stay, and then the dad, you know, goes and he gets mad at the son, whatever he does, and then it's kind of like, oh, I'm sorry, did I break your records? Like, you know, like he wasn't fully committed to being that.
The most non-believable thing was the boxing. Like, even the boxers in the ring who were supposed to be the good ones.
Oh, yeah.
They wouldn't hurt to fly throwing those punches. It was like, oh, they really scraped the bottom of the barrel. Like, just throw some boxing gloves on and go in there. Like,
well, that's why they're there, learning how to box.
Did you figure this Irish guy would know a little bit better about fighting, right?
Come him and his son.
Stereotypes.
Whoa. Give him a couple of Guinness.
A couple of Jamesons.
My Irish car bombs. But yeah, I mean, I agree that the gym scene was kind of like, really?
Yeah,
that's boxing.
Yeah,
it's like they were just throwing their arms like. The directions were more believable.
And like the other guy's like, come train me and stuff. I was like, bro, you're not a boxer. Get the fuck out of here.
Stop it, bro. Stop.
And the boxer, the main boxer guy who's dating the girl,
Javier.
Yeah, like he looked a little old. Like,
yeah,
you know, boxers start off when they're super young.
Yeah,
and for him to be going to the Pan American Games, you have to be like 15. Motherfucker
Really?
was like 29.
Yeah,
you would never be going to
He was roided up.
Because basically Pan American, like Olympians are like under 18 basically.
Oh.
Yeah, they're amateurs.
For reals?
Yeah, you wouldn't have some 30-year-old motherfucker going to the Pan American Games.
Well,
that's what I'm saying. It was
learned
a little
today.
bit unbelievable.
Yeah, bro, you did your research, bro. You know
bro, I
about
know.
that.
I love boxing.
Okay, relax.
That's what, like, you're gonna show boxing, you Irish fuck. Like, show it right.
Jesus.
Do it right.
And you were super in.
Nah, leave it in.
Jesus. God damn.
No, I mean, let's see the good with the bad, right? Now I'm falling on America's second viewing now. I'm really
It's
with
emotional
everything
roller coaster.
everything that we're talking about. But I just,
Like
I love
it
the...
needs a little tweaking and it could be like great.
But I love the tech. I think the reason why I'm super in because I'm a little bit shallow in that I love the technical stuff, right?
Yeah.
I love the photography, the way it's shot, the music. Again, the editing was really really good. Like technically, this movie was great, right?
Yeah.
But to see it in Cuba,
substance-wise,
substance-wise, it's a little soft.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like for me, I think there could have been a little bit more conflict between Mama and
I
his
agree,
dad.
Yeah.
It's literally a custody battle.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Her name is Mama.
Mother.
He's taking care of him. Has been taking care of him the whole time while he's been gone. You know, deadbeat dad shows up, and there's a little bit in that hallway scene where he gives him the out, but he chooses not to take it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, there's maybe a little bit more of that.
Yeah, you're totally right. I think a more realized screenplay would have, really played on those things even more, and
Great.
It made you feel a lot more rather than just, oh, it looks pretty.
My God.
But it got us all because we're all in.
I mean, it sounds like we're being harsh on it, and a little bit, but overall,
a little bit more of a polish. It would have been even better than what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still a good movie, but it could have been better with a little bit more of a polish.
Yeah.
But
it would have reached a bigger audience, I think, had it been more polished a little bit.
If you really think about it, I'm thinking about the shots, and especially the ending, the way it ended with, the homegirl, what's her friend's name? Cecilia, the hoe. She ends up getting pregnant by the boxer guy. The boxer guy leaves her basically, exactly like the main character's dad did. Yeah. And you know what happens? He ends up taking care of the kid. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, now you got more mouths to feed. Are you making really that much money doing drag shows now?
He's gonna go out to the bench again.
Well, the other guy was there.
Yeah, dude.
So I was like, I guess he was
gay prostitutes.
So I'm like, I guess
he could be.
He's the third roommate there.
He's gonna be a really good boxer. That baby.
I thought those were boyfriends because they kissed on the lips.
No, he did it with both of them. He kissed both of them on the lips. So I think it's just
a culture thing down there, I guess,
or just friends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
give me a kiss on that, buddy.
But yeah, the moment like where he finally sings to his dad,
Yeah.
And then he accepts him, whatever. That song is just like, if you listen to the song,
yeah,
like the lyrics are like, you know,
yeah,
you accept who I am, the way I am, because this is who I am, kind of thing. And then,
but it's like a simple fastball, like, you know, it's coming, you know, it's a free throw basically, you know, it's fine.
You do it through song.
Get it. Yeah.
It becomes a musical at that point.
But you don't really have that. You're supposed to be in tears in that moment, you know.
Yeah,
you don't really get that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right on that one.
Yeah.
I did feel like, damn, it's a nice moment.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel like...
Because even the dad at the end
I knew it was a nice moment.
Yeah.
Because, like, I've been taught that, right?
Yeah, because once you saw the dad was there to see him perform, you're like, oh, this is going to be the acceptance.
It's like the movie literally saying, this is a nice moment in the movie. Right?
Be sad.
Yeah.
Because he's all dressed up all super nice now.
He's performing very well with the lip syncing.
Everyone's all like, oh my God. Everyone's reacting. Apparently, everybody was at the bar at that moment, too. You just, because you start looking at faces in the crowd, you're like, wait, there's like, his friend was in there, I think.
Shit, the ice cream guy's there too.
And, you know, another criticism: a more colorful supporting cast would have been good too. Would have helped it a lot. Seeing a lot more of the other performers. You know?
It looks like we have 4 ins. Sweep again. Actually, sorry, 3 ins, 1 super in. Sorry.
Yeah, it sounded so negative though. What we were saying.
Well, but it was not a bad movie.
Yeah.
I mean, we're in, but it had some flaws.
Yeah.
It did.
You should watch it. It's on YouTube.
It's not
on
a perfect
Amazon.
movie. It's a good movie. It's not perfect.
Make sure you tune in next week as we review Ford vs. Ferrari and Robert's pick, which is
Munich, directed by Steven Spielberg.
Okay.
I've never heard of him. Is he up and coming?
He's pretty you know, kind of underground, but
what, did he start music videos and commercials?
Yeah.
All right.
Directed an Oreo commercial, I think.
Shut up.
Please don't forget to follow us on Instagram under Not Delete Reviews, one word, to get updated on upcoming episodes and little shenanigan type posts. Until next time, good night.
Thank you for listening. Please exit the podcast and don't forget to collect all your belongings and young children. We hope you enjoy listening and have a great rest of your day here at In Out Delete.
This has been a podcast presentation from the Zenith Corporation, working for a better tomorrow for all of mankind.